This isn't right. Alright. Hopefully that might fix it. Alright, good evening Twitch. My name's Alloy and welcome back to some Horizon Zero Dawn. It's been a while. I don't know. A lot of things have happened since the last time I've played this game. So now I just gotta yep. So I do remember in the last part we took care of most, if not all, of the side activities that I cared about, or forget that I cared about. Oh, we did all of them. So now I am moving onward towards the main story. I'm gonna try and power through it for a little bit. The goal is to try and get the Shield Weaver armor, at which point I'm just gonna turn around and go do the Frozen Wilds DLC. Even though the Shield Weaver armor isn't the best thing in the game, and the buff that it comes with. No, I think the Shield Weaver armor I think is the best armor in the game, just because it gives you that extra health at the end. I mean, the shield on top of it. But the Frozen Wilds does have its own little tidbit on it that will help. That kind of allows for it to still be a challenge. What do I need on this? I need a rat skin. I didn't finish all of the side activities. I didn't. Well, no. What did I do? I haven't done all the crafting I want to do just yet. Partially because I don't have access to the materials I need, and I didn't feel like going and getting them. So, but all the side quests, all the collectibles, I went and I grabbed them. All the side quests that I have to date are done. Gonna be one or two more that I get off the top of my head. But that won't be for a little bit, so I get some time to power through the main story. I do kind of remember where I get the parts I need to get the Shield Weaver set. So I'm gonna go get that, do Frozen Wilds. Oh, wrong button. And then who knows.
Still sniffing around.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So now that I've thought it through, yeah, Shield Weaver armor is personally the best. My personal opinion is the best armor in the game because of that little shield it gives you. So Frozen Wilds does have its own little countermeasure, and I do kind of like the way that the Frozen Wilds tackles the fact that you might actually have done it with a lot of fucking like end game level gear. So they made everything harder, kind of pushed you to get some of the new gear they gave you just because the stuff you have wouldn't can cut it, but it's gonna be a struggle.
This is what you intend to bring these ancient things back to life.
Their power serves us.
Machine demons from beneath the ground. It's a nightmare.
Nightmares, yes. The worst dreams of our enemies come true. Yes, rise.
For catching him alone.
These things will destroy us all.
They will only destroy our enemies and bring us back the lands that were
My focus. Stop working.
Search the area. We may have intruders.
You've come a long way since the Citadel, Aloy.
You. What have you done?
I've disabled their focuses, which is very helpful to you. But I don't know for how long. If I were you, I'd act quickly.
Who are you?
He's Commander Zavala. At the very least, it sounds like Commander Zavala, if you ask me, but...
Nora girl lives.
Kill her!
Of course, it wasn't enough. Could I maybe use a stronger weapon? I probably could. Yep, I'm definitely gonna need a bigger weapon. Hey, if you want to be stupid and you're gonna leave your battle buddy to die, who am I to argue, right? God fucking damn it. wouldn't make this my weapon of choice, but it gets the job done. Did I forget to clear my inventory again? Yeah. I always do. I don't need metal burn though. Okay.
Safe. In a few minutes, anyway.
Alright.
I'm not here.
Alright. Drum him out. Ouch. Probably a softer way of going down, but let me real quickly just loot the area.
Hear me out. You came with me. I'm ready. Hear me out. I promise. I'll tell you everything.
I know you will. The Eclipse were sent to kill me because I look like another woman. Older, maybe twice my age, short hair. Who is she?
I don't know. My focus found her image once in the ruins of Maker's End. Maybe you can find her there.
You found her image in the ruins? How?
There was a door. Beside it, a kind of ancient device that contained the woman's image. My focus recorded the location. You do look like her. Is she your mother?
I'm the one asking questions. The killers who came for me at the Proving, who are they?
The Eclipse. Some kind of holy warriors. A cult of the Shadow Carja.
Shadow Carja?
Except they're not like any Carja I've known. They don't pray to the sun. They worship some kind of devil.
I'm not interested in their superstitions.
Oh, it's not a superstition. Their devil is real. It has a name, a voice. The most terrible voice. And they do its bidding.
You say this devil the Eclipse worship has a name?
Hades. That's what they call it.
Hades. And you've heard it speak?
Steel to my soul. I heard. Just once, when it saw you. Such a voice. A cold, awful jangle. It scrapes your bones. It hollows your guts. A metal sound. But like nothing dug from the earth or smelted in a forge.
And what did it say?
System threat detected. Just 3 words. But in the voice of a devil.
Why are the Eclipse digging up ancient machines? And how do they get them to work?
I thought they wanted them for scrap, but they brought them back to life. Plugged some kind of device into the corpses so that Hades could whisper to them and call them from their grave.
I've fought that kind of machine before. Are there others?
Yes, The ones you fought today they called corruptors, but there are others, much bigger, bristling with ancient weapons. Those they call Deathbringers. I've only seen them buried in the ground, but after today, anything is possible.
Sounds to me like they're raising an army.
If so, the world will fall. And I helped dig the pit.
What are these Eclipse cultists after besides me?
They never said. But given the Carja civil war, they must want to overthrow Sun King Avad and take Meridian back.
What do I have to do with that?
I don't know.
When they attacked the Proving, a man came for me. Tall, strong, dead eyes.
Helis,
And who is he?
the terror of the sun. Stacker of corpses, we Oseram called him, when he was the Mad Sun King's champion. If only he'd died with his king. But now he leads the Eclipse. I tell you, he's the most dangerous man alive.
How did the Eclipse recruit you? I know they took your family hostage, but why you?
I was a scrounger, a rummager in dark places, good at what I do. I suppose they knew I would serve them well as a scout. I had taken a delve near Maker's End. When I surfaced, they were waiting. I laughed when I saw the priest, but then he showed me Helis's encouragement. I didn't laugh after that. They gave me a focus to watch my every move. I followed orders.
You had access to Meridian. Why didn't they get to Avad through you?
Too much dirt under my nails for an audience with the one true Sun King. But whatever Ursa or Eren told me, the Eclipse heard every word through my focus. That's why I couldn't warn you. If I'd tried, they would have killed my family.
I've heard enough. It's time to finish this.
I won't beg for my life. But if there's any mercy in you, free my family. Please.
Where would I find them?
My focus recorded the location. There are always guards there. You look like you can handle yourself.
I've done this before. I know this. I don't.
All this time I tracked you down. I thought this decision would be simple. It's not. Your role in events was coerced. Perhaps you're not an evil man. Just a weak one.
I am. The only strength I ever found in this life was my family.
Death is what you've earned. And yet...
I know what I deserve, Aloy. You shouldn't hesitate.
Oh, just a little bit of dialogue.
It
Get
will
up.
take many good deeds to make up for the crimes you've committed.
You're sparing me? After all I've done?
Yes. Forge a new life, Olin. One of better make.
Then the rest of my life will be lived in your dead.
Go to the place where your family is being held and wait for me. We'll make their lives the first ones you save.
I didn't earn this mercy, but I will die to make myself worthy of it. I will be waiting for you.
Oh, I've got skills. Okay. All right. That alleviates some of my. It makes sense now. All comes together. Sometimes I wondered how when Olin made this decision to change, he didn't get his family killed. Then I realized I've forgotten Silence is the one who. Oh, shit, spoilers. Commander Zavala was the one who jammed the communications long enough to
Can't be too prepared.
I hear like a behemoth. Nope, that's just a trampler.
Aloy, you're a woman of your word.
Olin. Your family. I saw the threat from Helis. You have a wife and young boy?
If I'd have striven to keep them safe instead of all I've done.
This is your chance, Olin. That's why we're here.
I'll take it. A kinder deal was never struck.
They're being held close by?
Yes, the farmstead just beyond these rocks. I'll take you. That's it. Nestled against the spurflints. Best not to think about the previous owners.
Too late.
So this is it. I can't bear being so close, and yet...
It's almost over. How many Eclipse are we talking?
From what I've seen, a fair few. Well-armed and armored. Bowmen watching from the ridges. But there's no space for their machine demons.
You've been watching for a while? What's the best way in?
You think if I had a head for strategy, either of us would be in this mess?
Fair point.
We could storm the front gate, Osram style. Or take it from the sides, or the ridge above. Maybe you could get on the rooftops. Not me. I'm too heavy cast.
Should I do this alone?
I don't doubt you could. But with the Eclipse, there's always another blade at your back. So I'll watch yours if you let me.
Let's go.
You have my steel.
Alright. I'm getting all the buttons mixed up. Trying to do stealth in this game is a lot harder in the higher difficulties. So... Oh shit. Well, so much for that plan.
Where is she? Cancel the search. I got
They
her.
must be in the main building.
heavy.
Thought I had that one.
Why couldn't this be like the heavy bowgun in Monster Hunter? Like they give you. They've got Aloy's regular armor, Aloy's Shield Weaver, Aloy's Storm Slinger. They could have used this as the heavy bowgun variant. Sorry, it's me geeking out on the fact that they did a crossover between this game and Monster Hunter. Anyway.
This has to be where they're holding Olin's family. Bolted tight. One of the Eclipse must have the key.
One would assume it was the guy carrying the big gun. But it's not the guy carrying the big gun.
Come on.
Oh, my wife, my child. Aloy, I owe you 3 debts deep.
Thank the sun. You found us.
I found someone who had the courage I hoped for in myself. It's she who deserves your gratitude. I have much to confess. I accepted a devil's bargain, and others paid the price.
And you think I don't know? I heard them talk.
You know there's always been dirt on my hands. Now there's blood too.
Take your son up in those hands. Come back to the claim with us.
You should listen to your wife, Olin.
But Hedis and his demons. I am honor-bound to help you, Aloy. With what little honor a Dyson like me has.
Olin, whatever your debts, you don't owe them to me now. Go with your family. Show them you're a better man.
Farewell, Aloy. Your mother. I hope you find her before they do.
Well. Okay. At least that story had a happy ending. I know that I have still to turn in all those quote-unquote collectibles in Meridian, but I'll do that the next time I pass by the city. Not like I need any of the resources they're gonna give me anyway. Although there is a guy that sells... Nah, maybe... That's a thought. No, I'm gonna get a better one in the DLC anyway.
Maker's End. Not much farther now. Olin said he found an image of the woman I resemble on an ancient device. If she's my mother, why would there be traces of her all the way out here? So far from Noraland. I don't get it. Who is she?
Her name is Elizabeth Sobek.
You! Spying through my focus again? Well, go on. What do you know about her?
Stay on your present course, and before long...
These dig sites. They're massive. is he and how does he know these things? He said Elizabeth Sobek. What kind of name is that?
Leave it to me to accidentally keep cutting off dialogue. I'll grab the stash. I mean, it's because he does give you some stuff.
They said it would be.
He gives you a standard rope caster.
Not a bad selection. I'll put those to use. Why are you doing this?
Because I want you to succeed. Good hunting. We'll talk later.
Wait! Damn him.
Yeah. This is. I'm glad I came by here already. It cleared out all the people. Rat! There we go. Right, gotta go hunting for more fish. Just add that to the list of things I have to do.
All these ruins. What do the old ones do here?
Intruder!
Oh shit.
Go up here. Right through the chest.
Oh, that's what that sound is. I thought I heard something. Closest thing you get to a gun in this game. Well, I mean, the Deathburner gun is a gun, but more of a handheld assault rifle, if you will.
Unless you've got nothing better to do.
I am playing Call of Duty Zombies. Alright then. That could have gone a little bit better, admittedly.
What have they been uncovering here?
Oh, right. I remember what's coming up. Okay. Ideally...
An explosion.
That'll be an interesting fight, I'll say that much.
Another explosion.
Rotate turret! And fire! All weapons operational. Time to get it moving and be quick about it. No daydreaming. Soon is the time. Another death
Has to be one of the Deathbringers Olin talked about. Her name. I'll never get into that tower. Unless I destroy that thing first.
Gotta be patient.
Stop working.
I've disabled his focus. The rest is up to you.
I'll handle it. Steam's blasting out. Remove those weapons.
You want to play with explosives? I can play with explosives too. I missed. And what they say, you fall down in combat, you die.
Did it. Let's see what you have to say. What is this?
The entity lives. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
What the hell was that? Hades? Hey! Mysterious stranger, did you see that? No answer, huh? Figures. I need to find a way inside the tower.
I should have space to turn around like that? Jeez.
Hold for identiscan.
One of these again.
Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. Please step inside.
Yep. The moment of, oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Better watch for machine lights through the trees.
Pharaoh Automated Solutions.
Dr. Sobek, you are 355,510 days overdue for your meeting with Mr. Pharaoh. Please proceed to the 35th floor.
Wait. 350,000. That's hundreds of years ago. What's going on?
Well, at least,
The protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, quantum encryption, black quartz stuff, way beyond military grade. That's what you demanded. So that's what we delivered.
You don't code something you can't crack. All we need is a backdoor. Upload the latest service pack update and the problem goes away.
You specifically forbade us from leaving anything resembling a backdoor in code. Every protocol to Black Quartz standard. Your words. Look, if you need me to fudge some projections, it's nothing we haven't done before.
I don't need fudged projections. I need a way to reassert control over the Hearts Timor swarm.
I don't know what to tell you, Ted. You're asking the impossible.
So, codes. They needed codes of some kind to control the machines. But they got out of control. Sounds bad.
wait, which way did I come in from? Oh wait, I came from the ladder. Okay. Yeah. This is where they kind of glimpse the story a little bit. What happened?
Have to leave something else behind.
What caused the world to die out? All of this to be left behind. But something to be said about the way humans built shit at this time.
Deathbringer. statue of one, anyway. A machine built to kill. And they honored it?
Welcome to Faro Automated Solutions, where all the problems of tomorrow are being solved today. With over 25,000 human employees based in nations and corporate holdings across the globe, Faro leads the world in every sector of self-sustaining, fully automated technology. From revolutionary consumer products close to home, like the Faro Focus, to the dynamic Chariot line of peacekeeping robots halting bloodshed in conflict zones across the globe, Faro remains committed to making the future smarter, brighter, safer, and always surprising. Faro Automated Solutions. For every problem of life, a smart solution.
So they made the Focus. 25,000 people? That's bigger than a tribe. So they made machines and devices. I guess those things were common in their world.
That's somewhat of an understatement. I'm not gonna go and read it. I'll listen to any.
What was this place? What were they doing here?
It was a corporation. A group of people not unlike a tribe. And they made machines.
Yeah, go on.
I've uploaded some data files to your Focus. They'll help you understand.
Yeah, I don't intend to go and read those. Any audio stuff I'll listen to. Anything written text-wise, fuck it. It's not unlike my own office in some regards. How many more of these things do I need? Memory serves. I need 3.
The air. There's no smell to it. Not even old death. Nothing natural.
Yeah. Technology, Aloy. Technology.
Another cave-in. But I could get through.
I honestly made my heart stop for a moment. Somewhat of a miracle I didn't fall in there myself, but okay.
Looks like I can climb here.
I find it kind of ironic that, not ironic, but I find it kind of interesting that everything that, I know they designed it, obviously the developers designed it that way, but just, this is not unlike, it's not unlike what you would see out in the wild, the way all of the fucking, the way all the climbing stuff looks the same.
The FSP-5 Khopesh provides a one-size-fits-all solution to main battle force capability. Metamaterial construction delivers unmatched recoil dampening, allowing you to field any weapon package that conforms to your budget needs and conflict resolution profile. Patented biomass conversion systems allow extended emergency operations with minimal environmental impact. Multilinear target processing provides simultaneous real-time threat analysis and legal review for autonomous domestic operations. Or control can be slaved to the swarm's neural network for weapons-free force application. Either way, when it's time to call out the big guns, it's time to call Khopesh.
The Deathbringer. So this was the heavy hitter. Main battle force indeed.
Will this activate the same thing?
The ACA-3 Scarab combines conventional and information warfare capabilities in one package. Designed for high-speed, all-terrain reconnaissance.
Are you serious?
The ACA-3 Scarab combines conventional and information warfare capabilities in one package. Designed for high-speed, all-terrain reconnaissance. It boasts the world's highest survivability rating of any Scout-class autonomous agent. Maybe it's the Scarab's emergency biomass conversion systems that ensure it always makes it back to base, even if fuel supply lines have been interdicted. Or maybe it's the Scarab's ability to slave enemy robots to its own network. Now that's force multiplication. Add a prehensile manipulator arm that can handle a host of functions. From 360-degree less lethal riot management to surgical repairs of Allied chariot line models. And you've got the workhorse of any cutting-edge peacekeeping fleet.
The Corruptor. Slave enemy robots to its own network. It sounds like it's talking about how it corrupts machines.
The BOR-7 Horus. Imagine your complete engagement ecosystem comprehensively managed by a high-speed learning machine network. Whether your need is to replace battlefield losses or intensify force projection, the Horus's onboard manufacturing capabilities mean you'll never get stuck waiting for the next arms delivery. Simply redefine your force parameters, and the Horus will fabricate additional units to fill the ranks for an affordable per-unit licensing fee. Meanwhile, the biomass conversion systems of other chariot line models allow them to keep the Horus fueled, repaired, and ready, extending its operational tolerances beyond that of any competing Titan-class platform. That's the Horus advantage. Always regulating, always ready. The future of automated warfare made real today.
The Metal Devil. So these were farm machines too. Manufacturing capabilities. They can make more of themselves. Then how would you ever stop them?
You get yourself an EMP. For those who are not familiar with the squad's lack of comprehensive English, EMP, EMP.
So people were angry at Faro, the corporation. It looks like the way up. What's left of it.
Yes, but these handholds are still able to hold on to Aloy. Or they can support your weight, Aloy.
Gonna be a long way up. Frozen metal most of the way. Not making this easy, Dr. Sobek. If plants can find a way to hang on up here, guess I can too.
That began when they engaged in unauthorized offensive operations against robots and human personnel of the Hearts Timor Energy Combine. wish that I could relate that the crisis has been exaggerated, but it's not. The Peacekeepers have not responded to stand-down codes, and by all signs, they appear to be replicating at a precipitous rate. Now, what I can promise, I can absolutely assure you, is that I am already devoting every possible resource towards reaching a speedy conclusion to this issue. So when you hear the bad talk about us against this company in the days, maybe weeks to come, just bear in mind that we will get past them.
Peacekeepers. That's what they called their machines. They were built for war, not peace.
And I stupidly just canceled the audio. Hold on.
This began when they engaged in unauthorized offensive operations against robots and human personnel of the Hearts Timor Energy Combine. Now, I wish that I could relate that the crisis has been exaggerated, but it's not. The Peacekeepers have not responded to stand-down codes, and by all signs, they appear to be replicating at a precipitous rate. Now, what I can promise, can absolutely assure you, is that I am already devoting every possible resource towards reaching a speedy conclusion to this issue. So when you hear the bad talk about us against this company in the days, maybe weeks to come, just bear in mind that we will get past this. That a day's coming when none of this will matter.
Yeah.
Here comes the snow. The way up. All it takes is a few good handholds.
Indeed.
All right, made it. Wonder what we'll find.
I don't know. But I do know that if I come up here, there will be the power cell.
Another power cell. If I find more, I should be able to get to that ancient armor I found.
Do you wish to deploy outer privileges to recover purged data?
Oh yes, I believe I do.
A file has been recovered.
Elizabeth, good to, it's been years.
Where's your legal team, Ted?
No need. I dropped all 18 lawsuits the moment you landed. I assume your data confirms this.
All right, this promises to be interesting.
Perhaps we could have lunch brought in. You know, get reacquainted.
I know you, Ted. You screwed something up, something big, or you wouldn't have eaten the crow necessary to get me here. So spit it out.
There's a glitch in the chariot line.
Your killer robots?
Peacekeepers, yes, those.
So shut them down.
Obviously, Liz, we would, if we could. They're not responding.
Are you telling me a swarm has gone rogue, Ted?
It's worse than that.
Show me the data then. And I'll take that lunch. Alone.
Ted Faro brought Elizabeth Sobek here, but they hated each other.
Another file has been recovered.
This isn't a glitch. It's a catastrophe.
Fully aware. It's bad.
Bad?
Jesus, Liz.
It's not bad, Ted. It's apocalyptic. You built a line of killer robots.
Peacekeepers.
That consume biomass as fuel.
In emergencies.
And you made them capable of self-replication.
Limited, self-manufacture, controlled.
Not anymore. The glitch severed chain of command. The only nation this swarm answers to now is itself.
You think I did?
Everything else is just food. And at the rate it's replicating, Ted, it will strip the Earth bare in 15 months. We're not talking fall of civilization. We're talking extinction.
I get it, Liz. So how do I stop it while it's contained?
It's not contained. It can't be.
You know what I mean.
Right. Before the truth gets out, you mean?
Liz, I will do anything you say. Keep working it, and whatever you recommend, I'll do.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Ted.
The Faro robots formed all life on Earth. But somehow she defeated them. The world of the old ones fell, but life went on, or we wouldn't be here.
A final file has been recovered.
Project Zero Dawn. Jesus, Liz. There has to be another way.
If there were a nicer way to fix your mess, I would have proposed it.
But this? This? When I asked you to find a cure, I didn't expect it to be worse than the disease.
It's not, Ted. It may be grim, but it's our only chance. Now sign the proposal.
Sign it? I can't sign that.
Yes, you can.
That? Liz, I cannot in good conscience sign that.
You've got a choice, Ted.
I know.
I am speaking to you from a VTOL en route to U.S. Robot Command. In 15 minutes, I meet with General Harris and the rest of the Joint Chiefs.
What? Are you crazy?
Now your choice is what I tell them. Sign, and I'll tell them the wealthiest corporation on Earth has guaranteed the funds necessary to build Zero Dawn. Exactly as I've designed it. Or don't sign, and I will make sure they and everyone else on this planet knows the real cause of the glitch.
Jesus, Liz. You don't have to threaten me. I'll sign.
Look on the bright side, Ted. From here on out, you get to do what you've always been good at. Footing the bill while others get their hands dirty.
God forgive me.
What made her solution so terrible? What did she do to stop the robots?
Executive access detected. Express lift opened.
couldn't have been my mother. She lived ages ago. All this searching, and I'm still no closer.
That's your reaction to everything you just learned? To whine like a spoiled child?
You should really try talking that way to me face to face.
As you wish. Do you really have no idea how monumental are the discoveries you just made, Aloy? I expected more of you.
So, you have a face. Got a name to go with it?
Commander Zavala.
All the questions you could ask right now, that's the one you choose. I've spent decades searching the ruins of the old ones, trying to solve the mystery of what happened to them. For years, I've suspected that Faro robots destroyed their civilization, but I could never confirm it. And in minutes, you uncover more ancient knowledge than I have in a lifetime. And what you want to know is my name. Silence. That's my name. Now, why don't you try asking another question? Something less trivial.
All right, Silence. You've made your point. I came to these ruins hoping to learn more about this Elizabeth Sobek. And I have, but I still don't understand my connection to her. Or why the Eclipse is trying to kill me. Or who Hades is. No answers, just one question after another.
Exactly. Which is why it's time to expand your frame of inquiry. Only then will you see just how big your problems really are.
What exactly are you talking about?
You've chased a personal riddle into a crowd of larger mysteries. The common thread is your connection to Elizabeth Sobek.
But what is that connection? She couldn't have been my mother if she lived centuries ago.
We don't know the connection yet. The only way to find out is to keep going, to keep making discoveries. Thanks to you, we've only just now learned that Faro robots once threatened to end life on Earth.
But it didn't happen. The Old One's civilization was destroyed, but life was saved.
Obviously. So, what did Elizabeth do? How did she stop the robots before all was lost?
What was Project Zero Dawn?
Exactly the question. Now, are you ready to go get the answer?
Of course I am.
Then why are you still standing here?
Not so fast, Silence. You've got some explaining to do.
I've told you quite enough. If you still got questions, be quick about it and stop wasting my time.
So far as I can tell, the Eclipse are just following orders. It's Hades who wants me dead. Who is he?
I don't know. The Eclipse described him as a buried shadow, some kind of devil.
That thing that spoke to me outside, that made that focus explode. That was Hades. It didn't seem like a person or a machine. More like a phantom. With a terrible voice.
All that's certain is that he wants you dead.
Because of my connection to Elizabeth. Has to be.
Hades is using the Eclipse to resurrect Faro robots.
But if Elizabeth found a way to stop them centuries ago, if she made special weapons, maybe Hades is worried I'll do the same thing.
In some of the ancient data I've recovered, there are hints of so-called super weapons being developed. Maybe to stop the robots, the civilization of the old ones had to destroy itself. Now if that's enough talking, be on your way.
Oh no, I'm just getting started. You've been getting a free ride on my focus, risking nothing while I risk everything. All I have to do is take this thing off my head, and you'll be blind, deaf, and dumb. So quit complaining and answer my questions.
Very well. Proceed.
You said you've known for some time that Faro war machines destroyed the civilization of the old ones.
The evidence pointed that way. But until now, I never knew the full scope of their danger. That they could process organic matter into fuel, or that the Horus class could manufacture more robots. Like a cauldron on legs.
But the robots we've seen so far, the Corruptors and Deathbringers, they don't do those things.
Not yet, anyway. So far, we haven't encountered any that are undamaged. At full power, who knows what they're capable of?
Who are you, Silence? And what are your intentions?
You really need to make this personal. I'm a lone wanderer who left his tribe behind a long time ago. An explorer of forbidden places, a searcher of lost knowledge. Exactly as I said.
Why do you know so much about the Eclipse?
I happen to know a lot about a lot of things. If what you're really asking is whether I work for the Eclipse or anyone else, I don't. I am nothing if not independent.
You've been using my focus to spy on me. How is that possible?
Every focus emits a signal, a voice that only other focuses can hear. I know how to string those voices together, how to make them talk to each other, to communicate, even over vast distances.
How do you learn to do that?
Years of study and experimentation. In principle, it's not so different from how you override machines. I override focuses.
And you can spy through other Eclipse's focuses too.
Usually. All I'll say is that overriding the connections is complicated.
Is there any chance that Elizabeth Sobek could still be alive somehow?
It's highly unlikely, but not impossible. Some of the ancient data I've recovered includes mentions of life extension techniques. Pharmaceuticals, mostly, an ancient word for medicine. But some were still trying to perfect ways of freezing and unfreezing people.
Freezing and unfreezing people?
Cryogenics, they called it. But there were problems with it. Given Elizabeth's technological acumen, I can't definitively rule out that she found a way to make herself immortal. But this is speculation. Wasting time.
Elizabeth told Ted Faro she was headed for a place called U.S. Robot Command to tell people about Zero Dawn.
The place still exists as a ruin. The Oseram call it the Grave Horde.
Grave Horde? Cheery name.
You'll find it in the Eastern Mountains, buried under the tangled coils of a metal devil, or a BOR-7 Horus, rather, as we're learning to call them. I'll contact you when you get there.
I can't wait. Someday we'll meet in person, and your manners had better be improved. Well, getting down will be a lot faster than getting up here, at least. U.S. Robot Command next. To learn the secrets of Zero Dawn.
Yep. Well, fortunately, the second power cell in the set of 3 is right there, so is in this mission as well.
Sky had all the omens.
The plot thickens. And thankfully, since I did this exploring before, path up here should be clear. Well, relatively clear, I should say. As Aloy has surmised, the machines in this area are protecting something. Or was that somewhere else?
All right.
You really don't have nothing else better to do.
Last shot.
Grass is moving, and it's not the wind. We got intruders.
Too easy.
The Grave Horde. In the shadow of a metal devil. Great.
So, unlike most of the other power cells in this area, this one is relatively...
They're inside too.
We're under attack. I'm looking right at her. Get ready for the shadow stick.
That does it. Time to take a look around the room.
Say again, Lieutenant.
I got you. Titan is through the defenses. Still on approach. A live one. And he's pissed.
We got no mobility in here. It'll punch right through us.
We hold the hedge at all costs. Then push back out.
A battle. Frozen in ice and time.
Looks like quite an enduring victory we put our foot in today.
Contact in 30 seconds.
Hey, think that's enough time for Sobek to finish Zero Dawn? If this is really it, I gotta say, it's been an honor to serve beside these tanks.
Here it comes.
Brace for contact!
Are you getting this, Silence? Silence?
Titan inbound, same play as Akron. Base defense locks it down. We engage, sever the lens, blast out the fountains.
Another day in the life. Mercantile, really close. Anti-MB on point. Hoorah!
There's a lot of corporals in this room.
Operation Enduring Victory. What did that mean? Whatever it was, doesn't seem to have turned out very well. Silence, you getting this?
What is it?
All these soldiers. They died here.
People die all the time. I'll keep going and find something interesting.
Yep. At least Aloy cared about the
Must have
fallen.
been where the soldiers slept. Like the lodge in Mother's Heart, I guess.
Log. Third Battle of California Marine. The swarm came in from the Pacific, and I don't know if it was the local Minutemen or the crazy 15th, but they'd set the garbage patch alight. Man, the sea was on fire. That stuff was... The first wave of bots came in covered in burning sludge. They bought us an hour or two of slaughtering them on the beaches before the swarm recalculated. We pulled them inland, back through the Kalmar sprawl. Dropped buildings on them, EMP'd the grid. Standard operating procedure. The last time I was in California, I was 5, 6? The light was like that vintage social net filter that was everywhere in the 40s. Log. First battle of the Eastern Seaboard Wall. Had a long run up to it. This was before Kalmar, and projections were a lot worse for the East. For 3 weeks, we kept getting scrambled out to some coastal burg to train Minutemen. It was always raining on account of Europe already being torched. Block after block of prefab barracks. They were still printing barracks right up until the hour the main force hit. The Minutemen? We ran combat drills with them in the streets where they'd lived, trying to pretend they might live to die somewhere else if they paid attention. Nothing worse than the ones who actually bought into it. Hopeful, pestering us with questions about Zero Dawn like we know something they don't. I swear, the more we do this, the more like the bots we are. Except they learn from every fight. And us? I'm not so sure.
Recalls, I've been instructed to remind you of Article 115 of base policy regarding unauthorized use of processor cycles. Specifically 115C. Any holographic simulation not directly related to operational training or efficiency. Consider yourself reminded and enjoy your gaming.
The LT was kind of chill.
Thanks for the mails, you. Time goes fast in active duty. 4 months with the wrecking recalls, I don't know, 20 drops. In and out of the West Coast, fighting with these civilian enlistees, scrappy guys and gals. Their training is basically, here's a DEW, when you see a bot, hit it. But somehow it's all coming together. Between us and the 6th MRB, we took down a horse at Lithium Beach. Pulled out before its buddies arrived, but to see a big one go down, I hope you made the news, honey. Showed everyone we're gonna have a shot at turning this around. We just need to give Project Zero Dawn the time it needs. Everything will be the way it used to be.
Boy, was he wrong.
I know it's been days, honey. I'm so sorry. Deployments are getting real long and tougher every time. The swarm's getting better at predicting us. Less of us now. And we have to put in 10 times the work for everyone gone. Like a family business on hard times, only... This isn't my family. It's not with you. I still try to see you. The life we had. In the eyes of the people out there. I remember when they were glad to see us. When they still had hope. It all seems to be slipping away. I don't even recognize the places we're defending. The only thing I know I'm still fighting for is you. The Zero Dawn to turn this around. Whatever the hell that is.
The furnishings were metal. How'd they ever get comfortable? It was the metal world. Guess they were used to it.
Well, they did have cushions.
Just one bed. Maybe their war chief's room.
Gonna figure out. Is this supposed to be the one bed, or? I never really figure out what Aloy meant by that one bed comment. Maybe it's somewhere behind all that rock. I don't know.
Red light. Guess that means no power. A holographic interface. There must be useful information. These wires must run to the power source. Three power lines, resources. That makes one. That's two. One more.
Hey, y'all wanted to know how I remember the geotherm system reboot? Goes like this. Bird flies north in summer, east in spring, west in fall, and south in winter. Didn't expect to hear nature poetry from the lips of Mike the GT Tech now, did you? As usual, I defy expectations. Hey, y'all wanted to know how I remember the geotherm system reboot? Goes like this. Bird flies north in summer, east in spring, west in fall, and south in winter. Didn't expect to hear nature poetry from the lips of Mike the GT Tech now, did you? As usual, I defy expectations.
You can kind of trial and error these, but looking at the... But I don't remember how to calculate the amount of possibilities you'd have to science out to get that working.
Twice being used. In places. No eclipse. This thing going. Another power set. I only need one more to get to that ancient armor I found.
And I know where to get that as well.
I know, right? They're not looking for answers. Just weapons.
Let's make this fun then, shall we? I didn't hit that guy in the back. Fuck. Well, that wasn't exactly Vendetta from World at War, but kind of worked. Yeah, but I can outfight it.
I'll find a use for you.
Gotta try and grab as much as I can. Simply because I will need it at some future date, and I don't want to be starved for resources now. I'll admit, doing the main story, you don't have the game does give you resources when it thinks you would need them. But you'll find that when you're not actively roaming around the outside, you won't find as many of the resources you need.
Thanks for the mails, you. Time goes fast in active duty. 4 months with the wrecking recalls, fighting with these civilian enlistees, scrappy guys and gals, that's all coming together. Between us and the 6th MRB, we took down a horse. I hope we made the news, honey. Show everyone we're turning this around. We just need to give Project Zero Dawn the time it needs.
Censored.
I know it's been days, honey. I'm so sorry. Deployments are getting real long. We have to put into work for everyone. Like a family business. I still see you in the eyes of the people out there. They were glad to see us. They still had hope. I'm still fighting for you.
Status report. 9th Mechanized Response Brigade, Commanding Officer Lieutenant Fiona Morell. Unit morale continues to be adversely impacted by outbound engagements against the Pharaoh Plague, especially when said engagements occur in sectors where civilian guard enlistees have been heavily engaged. The scope and nature of fatalities suffered by civilian guard and unarmed civilians in these sectors defy description. And witnessing it is generating a pervasive sense of hopelessness in the unit. Defy description. Defy description. And witnessing it is generating a pervasive sense of hopelessness in the unit. Accordingly, I once again request that deployments of the 9th MRB be temporarily refocused on facilities that are mission critical to Project Zero Dawn. And once again, I request an immediate update on the status of Project Zero Dawn's timeline.
Ames, I know I mail you too much. I'm just proud of what you're doing. Everyone back home is. We got moved inland 10 kilometers, just as a precaution, they say. School's still in session, so I get to keep my eye on Andres and Reggie. We never know where or when you're fighting, but when the VTOLs go over, all the kids run out and wave. I believe in you. I know nothing's ever gonna be the same, but I believe in you. I believe in us. Ames, I don't even know if you're alive anymore. The mails I get from you, they say they're from you, but they don't sound... They sound recycled. Phrases put together, and you don't say anything about the news I pass on. The containment zone, the rebreathers, the rioting, One Earth. What happened in the Dallas bubble, Ames, that wasn't the robots. They won't even give me a straight answer when I demand to know if you're still alive. They just say if your messages keep coming, then you're still operational. It's not fair, Ames. It's not fair that you won't be with me when the lights go out. I love you.
That's so sad.
I get it. Censorship. It's a bitch. God damn it. Before I activate the projector, I just want to see what's happening.
I'd have to ditch something.
Okay.
Stocking up. What is this?
That? It's a map.
A map of what?
Our world. The planet Earth, Aloy. It's not flat like you thought.
Why would I think that? During eclipses, the shadow cast on the moon is curved. So our world is a globe. And it looks like this, from a distance.
We'll discuss this another time. Back to the matter at hand.
The Faro robots were spreading across the world, eating everything up. Somehow, Elizabeth stopped them before it was too late. But how?
Figured I have to come through this way anyway, but
The eclipse. Tampering with a metal devil. They don't think they can wake it, do they?
Watch out!
Another collision. This thing can move.
alright, I get one shot.
Let's get this over with.
Alright, run! They had better weapons than you did. Yeah, those Deathbringers serve as like your boss, your like bosses throughout the course of the game. Not, they're not that difficult, honestly. Although I don't even remember how I used to fight them in the old days. I just, whatever feels natural, honestly. If it gets the job done, it gets the job done.
These will keep. Forget about traveling light.
Dr. Sobek, as projected, the Wichita salient has collapsed. 5 Horus-class Titans have broken through. We predict contact in 34 hours.
Everything is in position, General. It took a few shortcuts to pull everything together, but Zero Dawn is functionally complete. Good to go.
That enduring victory served its purpose after all.
Yes, if we'd had even one day less.
I've sent you an encoded file, Doctor. Please do me the favor of archiving it.
I'll see what I can do. What is it?
A brief statement. An allocution of crimes, I guess you'd call it.
To what are you admitting guilt?
Over the past 16 months, Doctor, I have presided over the greatest wholesale slaughter of military personnel and civilians in the history of history. Genghis Khan, Hitler, Stalin, Sorabella. Add them all together. They don't even come close.
You didn't do the killing, General.
No, not directly. But I didn't wind up the highest-ranked military commander in the United States by resisting the automation of the armed forces. Even before the swarm, Doctor, I was helping death along. So, instead of letting what I've done sink into the murk, forgotten, I set a file with all the details. Let posterity judge my actions with clear vision.
I'll do as you ask, General. But you should consider that were it not for your actions, our actions, there wouldn't be any posterity to judge us.
Perhaps. Dr. Sobek.
At ease, General. And goodbye.
Hell of a thing. Thank you, Dr. Sobek. You can take a seat.
What? You're going to thank her after what she just said?
Dr. Sobek has made the situation very clear, General, and given us an option. We should all be thanking her.
No, it's just... I mean, my God.
Maybe take this discussion offline.
There's not going to be any discussion. You saw the numbers. Now, Pharaoh, he'll foot the bill, but his money can't buy the time necessary to complete Zero Dawn. That can only be paid for in blood.
Oh, come on. If we upgrade our fleet, crack the code somehow...
Were you not listening? Robots can't do the fighting for you this time. When it comes to hacking, this rogue swarm is an apex predator.
Anything automated you throw at it, they will hijack and take over.
But this, we'd be throwing civilians into a meat grinder.
Commanders, the enemy we're facing self-replicates faster than we can kill it. And it eats biomass as fuel. Zero Dawn is all we've got.
So we put a railgun in the hand of every civilian strong enough to carry one, show them where the trigger is, and point them to the front? How the hell do we sell that?
By giving them something to fight for. Zero Dawn. The top-secret superweapons program that will save us. So long as humanity holds off the Swarm long enough for Dr. Sobek and her team to finish it. The file I'm sending contains the war plan for Operation Enduring Victory.
War plan? This is a war crime.
It may be ugly, but it's something. Consider the alternative. Dr. Sobek, I've secured use of a decommissioned orbital launch base outside Bryce, Utah as the Zero Dawn staging area. Plenty of space there. When can you get started?
I've already mailed you a list of Alpha and Beta candidates. Most are foreign nationals or subjects of corporate holdings, so extracting them...
Leave that to me. You'll get your dream team. Count on it.
Then I'll be off. Orbital launch base. What is that? What did these people do? What did Elizabeth do? Glad to be rid of that place. Now I just need to find the orbital launch base they talked about.
I've checked my data and located the base. That's the good news.
And the bad?
It's directly underneath the Citadel. The palace at Sunfall.
The capital of the Shadow Carja. Not exactly convenient.
The palace is crawling with Eclipse agents. Many in positions of authority, all of them wearing focuses. The moment they see you, Hades will too. He'll issue another kill order, and this time, the entire Shadow Carja military will be after you.
So, disable their focuses. You've done it before.
It's not that simple. Too many focuses in one place, each of them communicating with each other and back to Hades, a whole network of them.
Network? What's that?
Imagine a vast, invisible web stretched across the land from end to end, connecting focuses together, allowing them to communicate over vast distances instantaneously.
All right, so is there some way to cut the web down?
Crash the network. Audacious. Yes, there is a way. A weak point in the network.
Point the way.
I'll send the location data to your focus. Head there, and I'll be in touch when you're close with more directions.
What was Zero Dawn? What sort of super weapon did Elizabeth make? She stopped the machines. Not before the world she knew, her civilization, ended. Let's hope it won't come to that again. Now, how am I gonna get down from here? Ah, this should be quite the ride.
That can and has glitched before where I don't actually catch the second one.
I'd do that again if it weren't so much work to get back up there.
Yeah. Sometimes that glitch is you don't catch the rope and you fall to your death. Hi, Minecraft.
I got it.
What?
The Gauss minigun. Finally! The power is mine! I don't think I'm quoting anything.
Yes, you are quoting Kung Fu Panda 3.
No.
Right at the end when Po shoots Kai with the chi.
Oh yeah. You want my old thing?
Do what?
You want my old thing?
Say again?
My old Gatling plasma?
Who knows? But now that you don't have Fall on the brain so much, tomorrow morning let's play Stardew Valley so we can finish up the level, the hard mode version of the cave.
Dang. Tomorrow morning I want to quickly grind up whatever freaking dailies I can before it reset. Because I just know some more awards from that past ID one. I mean, tomorrow I'll do my dailies and then before it resets and then we'll probably do it.
Yeah, I guess that's that. I guess I'm cool with that.
It's like dailies don't take long.
Dailies don't take very
I think
long.
I think all I have is daily off.
Yeah, I could do that with you and be done with it.
Which you could probably buy, I think.
Yeah, and then that's all I need is just play some Stardew Valley with me. I might do a stream of that.
And then, well, it's like early morning, breakfast, FF76 daily, and then on Stardew, and then after that.
After
the Stardew thing, well, you know who should be on with you know what now. You know what?
Yep.
Which I can play with all day.
And I will spend the rest of the day busting my ass in Destiny.
Or this. But just in case you're bored.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually had a reason. Okay.
Sending those for the trail. They're scanning for me.
It's convenient to put a merchant here just in case.
Good. I can use this.
But I guess I should probably speak to her then. Or him. Whatever he is. Anyway. Someone's saying a fucking sawtooth heart. Are you serious? Jeez. How easy I can stock up my, jam up my inventory without even knowing.
crash the Eclipse focus network, he said. So how are we gonna do that? Oh, wait. I forgot. We won't. I do all the dangerous stuff. You just listen in. They're the handholds, right where you'd said they'd be. Did you get that, Silence? No? Fitting name you got there. All right. What now?
You wait, that's what. Take a seat at the campfire and rest. When night falls, we'll talk.
At least I'll have a fire to keep me company. How nice of you to finally drop by.
Our purpose this night is to crash the Focus network.
Yeah, tell me the part I don't know. How?
For starters, you'll need to infiltrate the Eclipse's main base.
Wait, what?
That's right. Fortunately for you, I brought you around to the back way. It's right through that crevice. Once you reach the base, you'll see the objective. A derelict tallneck that's been extensively modified. Climb the tallneck. Grafted into the top of its disk, you'll find a module of sorts. Destroy that, and the Focus network will crash.
So you were part of the Eclipse?
I've never been part of anything. I serve my own interests, always. But it is the case that I assisted the Eclipse before I sensed the threat they might become. It was a mistake that I'm doing what I can to correct.
What sort of assistance did you give them?
Head through that crevice, Aloy. You have more important things to do than ask questions.
Let's see what's through here. Corrupted machines. Patrol of guards.
More like soldiers. Held in reserve for a war yet to come. You'll have to get past.
It's possible to do this part stealthily.
explosions in the distance.
Pay that no mind. Doesn't concern you.
That's it. I'm already gone.
It's a lot easier to just go through it without using your bow. The only thing you'd have to worry about are the long legs, because those you can't kill with a sneak attack. So...
Getting close now. Head for that ridge. See it when you reach the top. Now be ready to act fast. You need to get in and get it done before they raise an alarm. Here we go.
You getting this? I see the legs of a tall neck down there, but no tall neck.
Damn. The transmitter's been moved. Check down the ravine to the left. Only place it could be.
So much for your insider knowledge. Toward the explosions. Great.
You got exactly one shot at this, Aloy, so spare the sarcasm and make it count. You see that bridge over the ravine?
Yep.
Memorize its location. There's a rappel point on the side. That'll be your way out.
And these Eclipse troopers?
Avoid them or kill them, your choice. The blasting should cover any noise you make. Find the tall neck and destroy the module on top.
Here we go.
Anyone here?
It's, I mean, I'm still crouched down in the bushes, but alright.
The sun can't
Is there fighting up ahead?
No. It's a mining operation. So long as you're quick, it won't affect you.
Oh good, another secret.
Don't think.
Shelter. It's bigger than the others.
Find the Tallneck, Aloy. There's no time to poke around.
There is if I make time.
Easily.
What is this place?
A distraction.
There are several data points. This armor. There's only one man big enough to wear this. Helis. This is his shelter? Not exactly fancy.
What would you expect of a fanatic? His only extravagance is his brutality.
So you know him?
Just enough to want to stop him.
Every morning, I wake to the same nightmare. The same reality. Holy Meridian, in the hands of profligates. Debased. The spire, towering above the horizon like a glittering spike through the center of my mind. Every daybreak in exile is a mark of failure, but the count of days runs thin. I will see Meridian retaken, the profligates slaughtered, a true king restored to the Mesa throne. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. So long as King Itamen languishes at Sunfall, coddled by his mother, he will never learn the true lessons of the sun. I have tried to instruct him, but the shadow of his mother's influence is upon him. I took him to the palace balcony to behold an offering of sacrifice in the ring, but he showed no thirst for it. He averted his gaze. Look to the sun, I told him. Do not shield your eyes. In all things, it is absolute. One day, it nurtures life, and the next, scorches life away. It burns the skin of champions and wretches alike. Never does the sun show pity. That is the example a Sun King must follow. The example of your father. But before my instruction could take hold, she was there, clutching him to her robes, burying his face against her breast. How is a king to rule when he cannot even see? My lord, the 13th king of the Karja Sundom was murdered, cut down by cowards who mistook firm rule for madness. Ever the strong are beset upon by the weak. So he said, as the traitors launched their assault. their cannons forged by Oseram filth topple the battlements and burst the gates. I would have fought to the end. But it was his will, the will of the sun, that I lead the prince and queen into the west, to safety. My lord did not hesitate. He saw his fate. He looked into the sun, and he did not blink. With me, he sent kestrels, nobles, sun priests, and slaves. Killing all that stood in the way, I carved a path to Sunfall. There, we joined others to gather the strength to take back our home. But our strength only faded, until the buried shadow was brought to light. When I first set eyes on the buried shadow, I trembled. Was I not the chosen of the sun? A blazing light of faith to shred and scatter darkness? Was it not my place to destroy this devil? But High Priest Bahavas instructed me in the prophecy, and set right my frame of mind. The murder of the true Sun King broke the cosmic cycle short of completion. The whole world cast into darkness, doomed. To resume and turn the wheel of time would require more than sun and faith. All forces must combine, all halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, night to day. Even a buried shadow wants the wheel to turn, for without a sun in the sky, there can be no shadow.
The Mirror of Meridian and the Spire.
Holy Meridian. That's how he sees it. And his destiny is to win it back.
Never does the sun show pity. And yet, when my wife died in birthing, and in dying ended the life of my child unborn, I pitied myself. My lord sensed this. But instead of casting me down for weakness, he cast upon me a radiant beam of honor. He ordered my kin buried in the sacred caves reserved for royals and heroes. Unimaginable. Never again would I doubt that I am the chosen of the sun. Never again would pity find a place in me. Not for myself or another. When sleep refuses to come, I think of our wedding night. How you welcomed me to the marital bed. How after, when you fell asleep, I lay there watching your delicate face. For all its beauty, I detested its fragility. A rage swelled up inside me. I abhorred that bed. How its softness threatened to swallow us up. And that room, the stench of incense, the fine embroidery of the drapes, all of it weak. I slipped from the bed, threw open the casement, and lay naked on the stone floor, determined to spurn all seductions of comfort. But when I woke the next morning, you lay beside me, naked as I in the cold. Your body, stretched beside mine, seemed chiseled from stone. I saw you wake, instantly alert, like an animal ready to strike. You said nothing. You did not have to. Already you had shown me beyond doubt that we were meant to be.
He's a fanatic, all right. Single-minded.
It gives him a focus that you seem to lack. Now how about finding that Tolnik?
Would not have been easy to drag the Tolnik down this path. Why bother?
Just find it and get to the top. Destroy the module and then get out fast as you can.
Sure is a lot of blasting up there. Sounds busy.
Busy enough not to notice you, let's hope.
Anyway, had to mute myself for all of that conversation.
They built some kind of structure around it.
Climate. The sooner this is done, the better.
I don't like this. Feels wrong.
Everything here is wrong. Just get to the module and destroy it.
Yeah. Kind of shows a little bit about the backstory of our main antagonist, I suppose, from all that dialogue, but...
I see the module.
Good. Now be quick.
This is Hades?
Aloy, this is not the time.
It's a metal devil.
Open the module's casing, now. Aloy, do as I say or all is lost.
Entity has come here. Entity miscalculated. Entity cannot destroy me. I am beyond its reach.
Maybe you are. But this isn't!
Destroy the entity.
Keep running!
It is possible to be killed in this segment.
No way. Yeah, you'd think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap? I noticed.
Keep moving! Watch out, there's more ahead.
Bridge in sight.
That's the way out.
I know.
Yo, Aloy is lucky there was not like a rock or a branch. She would have snapped her spine on impact.
Rough going, but you survived.
You knew Hades was there and you sent me to him?
I won't deny I risked your life, but it was the only way. Now, with the focus network down, we can both get what we want. Access to the secrets of Zero Dawn.
I'm past trusting you with secrets.
Good. That means you're wising up. Trust is for fools. It shifts and crumbles like sand. A poor foundation for any partnership. But mutual self-interest, now that is a solid bedrock upon which you and I might build a new science of understanding. We both need answers, Aloy. And thanks to you, we're on the verge of grasping them. It's Sunfall. We'll speak again.
You miserable... Damn him.
Right. For all the shit I did, I never actually got any of those campfires. Right. How long have I been going? Jeez, I've been going for like 3 hours now.
It's a Strider.
I saw those medicinal herbs.
Need them soon enough.
Sunfall. The Mad King Jiran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this, Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Avad will have to answer for that eventually.
She's very pale. Is she unwell?
Yes. She's a fighter, but the fever on her won't lift. It only burns hotter. Her name is Shiana, my sister.
Isn't there anyone in Sunfall who can help?
We're refugees. We know our place. And there's only one healer in the territory. He's... difficult. His soul is in shadow.
His soul is in shadow.
Galiv. That's him. He's very clever, but he has little care for people. Perhaps the desert scoured it all away. Perhaps he was always like that. Either way, I know he won't help us.
Well, I'll see about that. Where would I find him?
Last I heard, he was patching up soldiers at Blazon Arch. Another border battle. I'll keep the moon from your brow.
The Sun Ring. Proud mission of the code.
It's not across Meridian. At least.
Let me tell you, I sure didn't miss it.
Not unlike Rome.
Now we get to see if your attack on their focus network was entirely successful. Success. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment. In the meantime, circulate.
Tables? I very much doubt it.
Another savage. At least it's not as bad as Meridian.
I used to see Uthid sharing his rations with the children in the camps. Parts of
Outlanders! If you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here. Filthy mercenary bottom feeders.
I'll take the shards, even if it means having to listen to Bahavas.
I hear the Shadow Council are looking for one of their own. Should pay well.
By the glory of the sun revealed. Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King, the light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law!
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
By the will of radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair. You and I need to chat, little huntress. The green tent down in Shadowside. I'll be waiting.
Kind of busy.
We both know you're no killer for hire. Uthid is innocent. So come see me while there's still time to save him.
So, the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the Sun Ring from on high.
But the Kestrels.
Ah, they want us to see this, boy. It makes quite an impression.
Remember your place, stranger.
The balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
If you're gonna watch some slaughter, this is the place to do it.
I don't like heights.
You worry me, boy. You worry me.
Alright, well. Let's see. Well, picked up some more side quests, so I'm gonna go do those now.
My family is starving. Avad will have to answer.
The fact that you all went, that you all didn't stand by him when he took the throne.
Talana Khan Padish, Sunhawk of the Hunter's Lodge. She does her house proud.
before you're on the road.
The food is from Dowager Queen Nasadi, little ones. Her Highness knows times are hard and helps when she can. Eat. Bring some home for your families, if you have one. I've heard whispers about you. Rides machines, fancy spear, delightful freckles. Some even say you have a conscience. How extraordinary.
Who are you? You're obviously not one of the Shadow Carja.
My name is Vanasha. For now, all you need to know is that I'm a whisper of reason in this howling pit of insanity.
I know how that feels.
I'm sure you do. And so does Uthid. He's a good man, so naturally the Shadow Carja want to murder him. I've done some digging, and I think he's headed for the Green Climb. It won't take those mercenaries long to find him. He could use some help, if you're so inclined.
Oh, shoot. One moment. I didn't even realize I was still in this party. Shit. I'm doing a stream right now. I'll be right. Give me like an hour or something. I'll be right back. Yep, completely forgot about that.
Stop being evasive and tell me who you really are.
Stop being evasive? You might as well tell me to stop being charming. It's impossible, but I like you, so I'll tell you a secret. I have friends in Meridian, and I like to do favors for them when I can. Uthid might be of use to them, if he survives.
How do you know Uthid is innocent?
I'm excellent at making inquiries. Look, he feeds orphans from his own rations and personally punishes anyone who hurts the old or infirm. The idea that he would try to kill Edaman is ridiculous. He must have found something that can embarrass the priesthood. Otherwise, Bahavas wouldn't risk marking such a well-regarded man for death.
What makes you think he's on the Green Climb?
He knows he'll be pursued, so he needs a hideout that's both familiar and defensible. He once single-handedly held off an entire bandit clan in those foothills. My guess is that he'll fall back on what worked before.
I'll do what I can for Uthid. But what about you?
What about me what?
What will you do while I risk my life?
Useful things, little huntress. Look for 3 dead trees south of Sunfall. They mark the start of the Green Climb. Good luck.
I'm so glad sometimes I had the foresight to go to the places I need to go beforehand, so now when I do need to go to them, getting there isn't that hard.
Another savage. At least it's not as bad as Meridian.
Are you Galeev, the healer?
I had planned to spend the day gazing at the lands of my exile and feeling sorry for myself, but you're not from Sunfall, so this could be interesting.
I came from the tent city there. There's a sick girl. Her brother told me about you.
The answer is no.
What?
No, I can't spare the medicine, nor my time to administer it. My resources are already spread thin. Thin as the soiled cloths I have to use for dressings.
Why won't you help?
Look at it from my perspective. What meager goods I can get must be smuggled in. That's expensive. The Behemoth's share goes to the military. Of course, there are the demands of the Citadel. Helis's kestrels are so prone to sticky ends. What's left, that's for the nobles, who can pay well for my services.
Look at it from my perspective. A little girl is sick.
I think we are calling to each other across an ideological impasse.
What's stopping me from just making you do it?
I'd have to cause a situation. And you wouldn't harm the only healer disgraced enough to work for the Shadow Carja, would you?
Well, we've only just met, but yes, it's tempting.
And take it up with the Citadel. They decide who lives and dies. Nothing you can do would compare to my punishment if I use the last of my stock on a tent girl.
You're kind of an ass, healer.
There's no cure for a conscience. But in this line of work, I've built up an immunity to it. And yet, if you feel so strongly about this one girl, perhaps we can make a deal. My charity for a Thunderjaw heart.
That's not how charity works.
It is how deals work. You'd settle my debts. For a while.
Those parts aren't exactly easy to come by.
As it happens, a Thunderjaw prowls the Valley of Omens, north and west of here. I know it well because they expect me to put its victims back together. Runaways, mostly.
If I do this, it's not for you.
Oh, I'm not expecting you to do it at all. But I'll be heading back to the Citadel later.
I take every opportunity I can to fish. I kept hearing these darn things splash around while I was frickin' talking to the guy. I keep thinking there's fish nearby. I can use this. And done. Okay.
This has to be the place. The Thunderjaw shouldn't be hard to find. Just hope I see it before it sees me. My turn.
Piece of cake.
Shadow, if you can't trust Uthid, who can you trust?
I have your machine part. A deal's a deal. See to the girl, and it's yours.
On my oath. But tell me, if this girl survives, what do you suppose is her future?
It's better than not having a future at all.
What a charming notion. Come, come, let's be quick about this. Kindness doesn't keep well in the heat.
There's got to be more to this Uthid story than we're hearing, right? She was old, but it happened so fast. It can't have just been thinking it, can it?
This is Avad's
It's
strategy.
you. Hello again.
I've brought someone to see your sister.
How did you... What did we do to deserve... No, wait. I don't even want to ask, in case a shadow passes over and it's gone.
Smart boy.
She'll have his full attention, won't she?
Once I'm freed of other distractions, yes.
A fork. This must be where Nassan was supposed to check in. Sandstorm scrapes like stones. Three dead trees, just like Menashe's site. Let's see if we can... These tracks lead up that rise. Must be the green climb. Foot tracks stop here. Time to climb.
Alright. My current goal is I'm gonna finish this quest, which will lead me back to Meridian, and I can then do some, I guess, shopping is the best term for it, and then I am going to
All right, made it. Where did you go, Uthid? Food scraps. I'll bet Uthid stopped to see if he was being followed. He must have kept going. I've got to catch up. A dead machine. Uthid's been hunting. Everything useful has been stripped. Uthid's been gathering components, probably for ammo. Gun talks, looking to scavenge. Uthid took down a Ravager. Not an easy kill, but worth it for the parts. Dead Watchers. More scrap for Uthid's stockpile.
The next one doesn't miss.
Uthid?
You're young for a bounty hunter. Or am I old for a soldier?
I'm not here for the price on your head, Uthid. I believe you're innocent.
Innocent? Come on, then. If this is a trick, it's a good one. You've earned your kill.
No tricks. Just talk.
All right. Speak.
I want to know what happened at Sunfall. What really happened.
All right. For weeks, each dawn in the tent city came with a new death. Always in their sleep, no struggle. The old, the infirm, sometimes the young. Those who couldn't fight for the cause. I should have realized then it was a culling.
Who would do such a thing?
They thought it was a curse, an evil spirit. But it was only a man. And a silent poison. It took time to catch him, but we did. We brought him before Bahavas for the sun's judgment.
The High Priest Bahavas? He's the one who put the bounty on you.
Yes. He thanked me for my diligence, then had his guards release the villain. You see? It was he who ordered the culling. Then they turned on us. Should have died with my men, so their loyalty meant something. 20 years I gave to the sun. For what? Malice and murder? As for honor, sacrifice, true sacrifice, the kind priests and rulers know nothing of? It's all a fat joke.
If it's honor you seek, the Sun Carjas seem trustworthy. A little stuck up, maybe, but trustworthy.
Those Carja once raided your Nora lands. Raided every land we could reach. It was the Sun's will. I did what I was told. Others did worse. But as their captain, I had...
Uthid, I don't care what you did. I can't absolve you. But the Carja are changing their ways. You could too.
Perhaps. Avad doesn't understand what the Sun demands of its soldiers.
Perhaps he understands it too well.
Now you sound like the blameless Murad.
I can believe you're a good man. But why go with the Shadow Carja in the first place? Why serve them?
Because of Itamen, of course. He was the one true Sun King.
Itamen's just a child.
Yes. An untainted vessel. I believed he was pure. But they used him. Used our faith. I can see that now. No shadows under a noonday sun. Bahavas didn't need to disgrace my name. I did it myself, serving a rotten throne.
I met someone who wants to get you out of this. A woman named Vanasha. But first, we need to get you out of here.
What are you? You look like a hunter. You give orders like a soldier who's been out... Mercenaries. Think they'll all line up to tell me I'm innocent?
Should have stayed on the plains, Carja! The mountains belong to us! Keecook's killers! When we're done with you, you won't even leave an echo!
You didn't make it hard to be followed. Almost as if you wanted to go out in a showdown.
Not much gets by you.
We've got company!
Ah! Ah!
Move in! We'll send the rest as soon as they arrive.
Look out!
back. We still got another squad on the way.
Press the advantage. It shifts like heat haze.
Makes me wonder.
You thugs will break again.
You now, man. Rally, we can still finish them.
Honestly.
Here it comes. Last thing you'll ever see.
I have to wonder what the hell. How the people of this Werak chose to become bounty hunters.
You'll do.
You going down.
That won't be the last. Follow me. I've stashed supplies up above. Up and over. Grab what you can while we still have time.
A robust defense is the most satisfying to break. All right, Marbles. We brought the priest out here, so let's put on a show for him.
I know that, Hood. We've unfinished business, Bahavas and I. This will be difficult. I think you rallied to a lost cause.
I don't intend to die today, Uthid.
I did. But you're starting to change my mind.
Did I just lose this? No, I didn't. I honestly forgot this was here. But this makes it fun.
Look out! To your left! For the honor of the...
Might as well use some of these healing vials.
There, looks like she needs to fight. Death on its way.
That's the last of the marvels.
Bahavas thought he had enough fodder to keep him safe. Now there's hope for justice. Will you come with me?
Of course. Many times where an asshole gets what he deserves in this game. God, I don't...
This won't be easy. Bahavas still has his personal guard. Across there and we'll have him.
The snow's got a bite out here.
I had to come here myself to end your suffering, Uthid, and mine. The Outlanders led us here, and now that they are dead, their price is most affordable. But enough with needles. It's time for blades. Remove them from the sun's sight. The sun sets on your pathetic life, Uthid. Hurry! Kill the traitor!
Who the fuck is
Kill
shooting with a
Nora!
Oh, you.
Make it hurt! The shadow falls upon us.
Up to the perch.
I'm surprised Bahavas doesn't just push him back all over right at that moment.
Whatever deal you worked out with him, I'll double it. More than double it.
No. I'm tired of this, Bahavas. The lies and the violence and your cheap scented oils. I don't suppose you'd kill yourself.
I had to. I had to. Prune the weak, or all the Carja in Shadow are doomed.
This solves nothing. But may the sun find some worth among your drying bones.
That was quite a fireworks show.
You took your time?
I was busy. What do you think happened to Yan Shund, the other mercenary band? And I had to organize passage to Meridian for a wanted man. Give us a moment, Uthid. Girl talk. You've had quite a day. I never imagined Bahavas would blunder into his own trap. His death opens up wonderful possibilities. Remember Itamen and Nasadi, the Child King and his mother guarded like hostages at Sunfall? With Bahavas gone, no one will be watching them. I want to get them out. And I could use your help.
Kidnapping the Sun King of the Shadow Karja is no small task.
It's not kidnapping. They want to go to Meridian, to safety.
How do you know that?
I've been posing as Nasadi's handmaiden. She's scared. For herself, of course, but mostly for Itamen.
Why do you care what happens to them?
Itamen is the Shadow Karja's figurehead. If he defects, it will remove their last trace of legitimacy. Beyond that, he's just a boy who clings to his mommy. He made a little grazer for me out of matchsticks once. It wasn't very good, but still, nobody ever made anything for me before.
What's going to happen to Uthid now?
Don't worry. You gave him a second life, and I'll put it to good use. He'll be welcomed in Meridian as a military advisor. Hopefully he can help Avad finish the Shadow Karja with as little bloodshed as possible.
What's going to happen at Sunfall now that Bahavas is dead?
Oh, it will be glorious. The priests will panic. There'll be infighting, skullduggery, and backstabbing as they wrangle for power. Best of all, they'll be distracted. Bahavas, your life brought misery, but your death is a flower that blooms in abundance.
What do you need to get Nasadi and Itamen out of Sunfall?
With Bahavas dead, Sunfall is the easy part. I'll handle that. The big fuss will be crossing the border to the Sundom. Find my friend, 3 Tohuadiv near the Branded Shore. I hired his crew to sweep the path, so all you have to do is wait for me.
If this Wadiv has already cleared the area, why do you need me?
Contingencies, little huntress. Something will go wrong, and I need protection I can count on. You.
I'll try not to disappoint.
The Nora said you would help me. Are we bound for Meridian?
Only if you want to go, my dear.
What choice do I have?
None at all. I was just being polite. I think I'll take a moment with Bahavas. Death suits him better than those robes ever did. Remember, look for 3
What makes you think Avad will welcome me after I served his enemies?
He's a forgiving man. Just smile a lot. You can't smile, can you? No, that's a grimace.
I am in your debt, Hunter.
I like this little,
Nervous about going to Meridian?
I've been a soldier for 20 years. I do not get nervous.
Not even around a pretty lady?
I will not dignify that with a response. The Nora said you would help me. Are we bound for Meridian?
I like that little banter between the two of them. I also like that I will not dignify that with a response. Yep, those two end up together. I think. At least when you see them next, it seems like they're going in that direction.
I can't spare the weight. You're Three-Toe Huadiv, right? Vanasha sent me. What happened?
I got hornswoggled, that's what. Vanasha batted her lashes, wiggled her hips, and promised us treasure. Clear a path for the royals, she said. Sneak past the garrison and skewer a few watches. Hardly a bother. Little did we know there was a damned monstrosity lurking underground. When will I learn not to gawk at skinny girls?
Why do you think Vanasha swindled you?
My crew came to Sunfall because we heard the bounties were fat. She offered us the fattest one of all, enough to retire on. It's my own damn fault for taking the bait. Should have known I'd end up with a rupture in my useful pots.
So Vanasha needed safe passage for Nasadi and Itamen, but it didn't work out?
She made it sound so sweet and easy. Find the best path to the lake, make sure it's safe. What could go wrong? Turns out, a lot. Like bloody murder in the grinding jaws of a heinous death beast.
Something attacked you from underground.
Oh, you picked that up, did you? I wondered why the Shadow Carja didn't pay attention to the pass. Well, they don't need to. A rock-eating demon guards it for them. It tunnels in the dirt, breaks through the earth, and blasts rocks from its stinking face. I barely escaped. My comrades weren't so lucky. I might shed a tear if they weren't all cutthroats and cheaters.
Vanasha will be here soon with Nasadi and Itamen. I've got to destroy that thing in the pass before they arrive.
You're not too bright, are you? Well, we didn't last long against it, but I'll tell you what I know. It has armor everywhere, a little less at the rear. And when it goes underground, it will lose track of you if you're quiet. You might even be able to keep it from going under altogether if you hit its big crooked arms hard enough. That's all I can offer, friend. I promise to look solemn at your funeral before I hit the bar.
Me as a mercenary.
Can't carry more.
Well, that was easy.
By the radiant sun, I can't believe it. I thought that evil rock chewer would grind you up. After that miracle, all we can do is wait. Vanasha will be here soon, along with a boat that'll take the royals across the lake.
Ah, little huntress. Glad you accepted my invitation to play bodyguard. Where are your men, Huadiv? It looks like something chewed you up and spat you out.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
The way is clear. Can we go?
I like how you always cut to the chase. In this case, literally. It won't be long before you're followed. Don't be afraid, Your Radiance. We've got excellent protection.
See my Strider in the background.
Oh dear. Here come the Shadow Carja, and they're very angry with me.
I'll hold them off.
Very noble of you, but when I start a fuss, I like to finish it. Not that your assistant isn't welcome. Huadiv, get Itaman and his mother to the shore. Carefully. So it comes to this. I must say, after 2 years under the heel of these zealots, I'm ready to extract a little blood. Some traps would be nice.
Just a matter of time.
Don't ever really use these, but now's a good time.
Take cover up there, behind that rock. Here they are. Let's make it hurt, shall we? I suspect we're not done. More of the bastards. Get ready. I worked up a bit of a sweat.
What do you mean?
God, I found this.
I don't want to jinx it, but we might be in the clear. A bit late, aren't we, gentlemen?
Sorry, ma'am. The boat's waiting.
Damn, I spoke too soon.
This one's mine. Get to the boat.
You know, this time I think I might be out of my league. If anything happens to her, I will be very cross.
We're not going anywhere.
fucking laser cannons turns
Save
into
these for the
stars.
trail.
Damn.
Not exactly a royal barge, is it? Oh well, defectors can't be choosers. Let's get aboard, shall we?
What happened to Uthid?
You've done a good thing. Maybe even ended a war.
Maybe. But my war just keeps going.
Itamen, my brother, welcome home. You have nothing to fear. You are now under the protection of the Sundom. My protection. As is your mother, she will not be harmed. You have my word, the law of the sun. Aloy, it seems I see your influence everywhere. You've done so much for the Sundom, and it will always be appreciated. You have my thanks. May you walk in the light.
Appalling. I spent 2 years in the Forbidden West setting this up, and the redhead gets all the credit?
I'm still getting paid, right?
You'll be lucky if I let you live. I couldn't have done this without you. When we meet again, I'll give you a proper thanks. I promise.
Won't find better wares. We're better not stopping.
I love that. That interaction is always great. Although I could have sworn, Uthid was also on that boat, but hey. Alright. Okay, so it didn't 100% lead me all the way over here, but close enough. Alright.
Yes. I remember you. Did you find the vessels I seek? Yes, yes. Trade quickly. I have work to do. I will leave you to the hunt. Be sure to delve into the ruins.
that Nora was there to protect the Sun King.
There ain't no great...
A woman atop the Hunter's Lodge. Never thought I'd see that sunrise.
Back from the wilds. Find any Banuk relics? You ready? Let's trade then. Come on back if you find any Banuk goods.
I found all of them in the land so far. Anyway,
You rescued him, our prince.
I knew there was a guy here that sold that shit.
Ah, you're back. Did you bring me something lovely? Ah, let us haggle over this beautiful bounty. Till we meet again, my noble Nora. I have a matter of grace and beauty I've been...
And now that that's all said and done, click the bowls. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, cool.
Discuss with you.
Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
Now, is there a regular merchant around here somewhere? Sure hope so. I could use one.
Shit, sure as the sun's rising,
Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
I knew I was gonna regret that. Survivor, Silent Hunter, Grazer, Bellowback, and Shellhawk. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna watch it.
Only the finest goods here.
It was beautiful.
Won't find better wares. Would you like to buy some?
Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
See for yourself.
Won't cost you a shard just to look.
Well, now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make back some of the shards I just gave up. Now, you might be wondering why I have all these outfits when I don't really use them, and hey, you got a point. I just want to have these things. Okay.
You'll like what I have to say.
What time is it? It's 15 minutes past 15 minutes past midnight. So I think I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and tell your friends. This has been Alway signing off.